Now, I'm not a very organized person. As much as I try, I can't help but be kind of all over the place, which means I'm usually working on at least a dozen things at the same time. I've been planning a Minecraft-inspired tank for a while now, but had a few hang-ups that had me pretty unmotivated, so instead of failing to make progress on one thing, I decided to pivot and focus on something else. Which brings me to this little guy. I got this tank a few months back during a big sale at one of my local fish stores, and this day seemed like the perfect day to finally get it set up. So, here's the plan. There is no plan. And honestly, sometimes that's the only way to do it. I've never had a tank in these dimensions before, since I usually prefer more long and shallow tanks, and with this one being so small, it was definitely going to be a little bit different. Or so I thought. In reality, I treat all of my tanks pretty much the same and really only need a few things to create a little ecosystem. Now, not all of these are actually needed for any aquarium, but this is just how I do it. The first thing I decided on was what substrate I wanted to use, because if you've seen any of my other tanks, you know that this tank will have plants. Now, I probably would have gone with sand if I had any left, but I decided that these tiny little pebbles would work just as well. I don't have many tanks with dark substrates, so this was a good opportunity to try it out in a nanoscape. Of course, I wanted to have some sort of hardscape, and luckily I've been collecting pieces over the last few months during any sales that I see. While all three of these look really good, I ended up going with the dragonstone since it does have the most texture and will work well for this scale. Luckily, I have a bunch of small pieces that I got specifically for small tanks like this. When it comes to aquascaping, I think it's really easy to get caught up and think you need to fit into a certain standard way of doing it. While those standards are the foundation of aquascaping as we know it, you also have to remember that all of it stemmed from the chaos and beauty that is nature. So roll up your sleeves and just start playing around until you have something that you like. Any aquascape that you put yourself into is a good aquascape. I got this driftwood from a member of the fish club that I'm a part of, and I think this is going to fit perfectly with a dragonstone. It might be a little bit big for the tank, but I still love the way it looks, even with the branches touching every side of the glass. Let's go ahead and get this tank filled. For plants, I had some that I had gotten after visiting a new fish store the week before. I go to a lot of fish stores. This is a new plant species for me, and I'm really hoping it will do well in here. This tank will be powered only by the sun that comes through my window, so I'm hoping that it's going to be enough to get this little plant to grow well. Of course, since my substrate is inert, I added in some root tabs, which are always too big for these tiny little tanks. But these will give the plants some much needed nutrients to help them adjust and grow in the new tank. I probably should have removed the wood before planting. I wish I could tell you what the rest of these plants are, but I'm honestly not 100% sure on the species, but just know it took everything in me not to plant twice as many plants in here. While I love an overgrown tank, I really wanted to try and only have a couple of stems in here so that you can really appreciate the hardscape. With this tank being so tiny, the best inhabitants will also be tiny. First being these little guys, seed shrimp. I made sure to suck up some of the mulm and muck too, as that's where all of your bacteria is living, and will also give the seed shrimp something to eat while the tank ages. And you can't not put a snail in here, right? These red ramshorn snails are just too cute and will be easy to spot in this tank. This little guy wasn't the happiest to leave his old home, but I'm confident he will settle in just fine. He will be key when it comes to eating and breaking down all of the biofilm that will happen while the tank matures. Like I said earlier, this tank won't have a light and will instead live in this window where it can catch the sun. I have a few nano tanks that are set up like this, and I have had great results. Now, if you don't like algae, then this is probably not an option for you, but my seed shrimp love the algae, so I just leave it in these tanks. I do think it's kind of pretty too. And that's it. Nothing crazy or complicated, just a little glass box and its slice of nature. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.